Chapter 10, Motivation, Personality, and Emotion. Brands, like people, have personalities because we associate human characteristics with brands. The nature of motivation. Motivation is the reason for behavior. A motivation is created by needs. Sometimes they use the two things interchangeably. Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You've all heard of that. The first thing is do things to stay alive. Second thing, be secure. Third thing, get love. Fourth thing is mastery, and the fifth thing is fulfillment. Most people draw it as a pyramid pointing up, so you get the base, and it gets better and better and better. You get higher to the top. In some ways, it can be described as going around Pikes Peak. It just gets it tighter and tighter, but better and higher cycle. McGuire is another one who has researched motives. He has a bunch more, 16. Cognitive preservation motives. You can go through all these different ones. Growth motives. Effective motives. Effective growth motives. Oh, these are preservation, these are growth. Yeah, it's the same with 4 in each category. Okay, motivation theory and marketing strategy. This is important. Customers don't buy products. They buy motive satisfaction or problem solutions. They aren't buying products, they're buying solutions all the time. And that's especially true in business environments, business to business, not even consumer stuff. So firms have to figure out, what people need and make sure they satisfy exactly what people need. That's really simple. An ad agency or a marketer can't create need. Well, what they can do is create demand, which is a willingness to maybe buy it. That's about it. Awareness, interest, desire, and some action. They can't force people to buy things that they're not interested in or desire. Discovering purchase motives. Motives are known and freely admitted. They're called manifest motives, or open outward motives. And then we have latent motives that we don't know about or don't really want to tell anybody about, or don't want to say it that way for some reason. So they have different kinds of research. Some is projective, so they say what other people do, and you project what you think everybody would do, which basically covers everything you've probably ever thought about. And then they have another way called laddering, where you basically keep going around and around and around until you've identified every single benefit that you can imagine that anybody could think of, and then you work on that. Marketing strategies based on multiple motives. Manifest benefits are pretty easy, pretty out in the open. They're usually things that people honor and appreciate and like. You can also have indirect appeals by making things look upscale. Again, white space, making things look sharp, modern, catching the attention. Campaigns need to run series. They need to have a variety of ads so things don't get boring, and also so you can cover all the different motives that might be available in your target group. Involvement is a motivational state caused by perceptions that a product brand ad is relevant or interesting. So if you're high involvement, you want real detailed stuff. You want to know all the scientific stuff, performance stuff. On the low involvement, you really just want things that look cool, that you like, that fit in whatever you're doing, make you happy, and it kind of depends on where you hear about it. So obviously, when they talk about Car and Driver, this is also the case in business-to-business magazines. You start reading things like Design News and getting way out there, maritime publications. There's some very interesting and detailed product information and advertisers and things like that. Marketing strategies based on multiple motives. Communicating manifest benefits is relatively easy. There are also indirect approaches where your white space font, your design, how the ad looks gives you other appeals. So in a campaign, you might have a lot of motives and you need to make ads that appeal to all the different groups, kind of a series or something like that. Involvement depends on how much it's important or relevant, interesting, and a lot of times that has to do with how much it costs too. Some people are really careful how they spend their money or spend money on behalf of their companies. If it's low involvement, they're more persuaded by how it looks, what color it is, where they saw it, things like that. It's not very important, really. It's not worth it. Those are generally higher priced products versus lower priced products. Marketing strategies based on motivation conflict. So you go through all these different, ways of doing this. Sometimes if people can't make choices, you can change the price, or you can make it easier to buy. You can say, buy now, pay later. There are lots of ways to deal with that. Approach avoidance. Sometimes people want to avoid a risk, so you really need to reformulate your product, basically come up with something new that can actually truthfully mitigate that risk. So it keeps on going. There are these different strategies for doing everything. Quality is a good position. If you're ever going to go out and just decide which kind of clients you want quality clients, because they're the most expensive. They have the highest marketing budgets, and they basically do follow the promise of you get what you pay for. So that's a good place to be in the position in the matrix. Marketing strategies based on regulatory focus. Different countries have different focus. In the United States, it's more about benefits and getting ahead, and places where they don't have as easy a credit and as many protections and different kinds of things economically, it's much more prevention focused, trying not to lose things. There are times in our lives we're more prevention focused than others, just based on the stage of life we're in as well. Personality, it's characteristic response tendencies across similar situations. They speak here, and prevention focus on trip marketing. If you say, don't be the last one to get there, you try to put some urgency on it. Or you say, give yourself something great and get good deals. This kind of person's going to buy at the last minute. To avoid the risk of being left, this person's going to spread their buying time. They're going to start early, so they're working on their deals and anticipating, and it's going to be a completely different advertising promotion. Multi-trait model, trying to figure out personalities. Here are the 5 factors that you can do that with. Single trait, the use of personality in marketing practice. Basically, all this is about creating expectations. You use all these different tools to create expectations. So people come in and want to spend their money. You need to make sure that you meet their expectations, so are telling the truth. The advantage for a sincere brand is that the brand delivers high quality. High quality means they do what they say, they meet or exceed expectations. There is this point in the book. Nonprofits compared to for-profits are generally seen as warmer but less competent. And the book has a typo. Ha. Okay. To create personality, 3 common tactics are celebrity endorsers, user imagery, and executional factors. They come over here and explain this a little more. You have to have somebody who kind of fits what you're doing. You have to kind of identify the user by matching the models or the things to the people that are in the group. Again, advertising to old folks, always use 15-year younger models. And then executional things are all the ways you set it up. Media matter, like putting it in the right programs to have the right attitude and audience and associations and things. So emotional tendencies are often triggered by environmental events, accompanied by physiological changes, accompanied by cognitive thought. They are associated with behaviors, and they involve subjective feelings. So really, people keep trying to figure out how to categorize all your emotions. There are different ways to do that. One thing they're talking about nowadays is gratitude. Gratitude in a customer context is the emotional appreciation for benefits received, making people be fans, basically. You have to over-deliver. You have to be proactive and help people more than they expect, almost like a consultant who kind of knows ahead of time what they'd like to have and what could benefit them. So when you're nice to people, you do more than they expect. They want to pay you back, so it's always smart to do something nice first. I mean, that's just basically nice. But when you do that consistently with customers and they know you appreciate them, they appreciate you more, and they'll give you business because they'll feel like, gosh, they've been so nice to me. Or they'll kind of pay you back or say nice things about you. At a minimum, they're going to have a good attitude and probably help you in some way. So it always is good to do things for people that would benefit people, or give them information, or send them newsletters or tips or things that can help them. Emotion reduction as a product and retail benefit. this is talking about how, flowers go to funerals, but flowers also go to weddings and other things. So you can promote things for everything. Consumer coping and product and service encounters. This is the reaction to the stress-inducing situation designed to reduce stress and achieve the positive promotion. Well, they talk about salespeople who come in and they're, customers who come in and they're all grouchy, and they avoid the happy salespeople. So really, people should mirror in that environment, kind of stay the same as people you're dealing with and be sensitive to what's going on with them. So they talk about consumer emotional intelligence, and that's a person's ability to skillfully use emotional information to achieve a desirable consumer outcome. A person who's able to cope effectively is considered to have consumer emotional intelligence. It means they can achieve an outcome and basically figure things out. So people who can't, blow their tops and bad things can happen. Okay. Keep going. And we're done. These are the learning objectives, and that's the end of chapter 10.